Yo, 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 this is InsidiousPurple and welcome to the road to Elden Ring. Alright, so this is going to be a real chill video. In the background, I'm playing Dark Souls, the original. I'm going for a strength build. So you can watch me run around all throughout the Dark Souls beginning of the game to get the best items to start building my strength build. I'm trying to see if I can use I want to use the demon machete, so I'm going to be going to Blighttown at some point to get that. But enough about that. We are here to talk about Elden Ring. Okay, so we'll be going in and out at various points of this playthrough with each video, so it's not going to be consistent in terms of the Dark Souls playthrough. But I will be talking about various topics. This first one is, of course, as you can read, I want to go over the trailer and some of the aspects of the trailer. I know it's been a while since it's been out. Everybody's done videos to death about this, but I wanted to have my own video to market onto my channel, seeing that I plan to play it on my channel as well. Okay, so I just wanted to go over some of the gameplay aspects that we saw in the trailer. One of the main ones being horseback riding. Now, it's a huge deviation from the standard Souls-like games that FromSoft really makes. They don't really make games where you ride on a horseback, but seeing the nature of the game is an open world game, that they're trying to make more of a game where you can choose where you want to go more freely, and it's a lot larger map. Well, obviously, horseback riding does fit the whole scenario. So apparently you can summon the horse. Your character would jump up in the air and the horse kind of materializes underneath you, which I thought was pretty cool, you know? Speaking of the open world, man, there's so many different places to go to, and the scenery is just beautiful. You know, I kind of expected that from a FromSoft game, like the scenery in Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, beautiful environments, a lot of variety in just the way the environment looks. The Dark Souls, it has a really good look. Not only is the gameplay fun, but the look of the different levels are also entertaining as well. I'm just walking around trying to collect these souls of a lost whatever in the gameplay, you know, just so I can use them, so I can buy stuff once I get to Blighttown. Speaking of that, like the open world, you know, at some point they're going to have or implement a fast travel system. At some point they're going to have to do something like that, because not everybody's just going to want to walk on horseback all over the place. So they're going to have to implement something like that. That's what I would assume that they would do at some point in the game. You'll be able to unlock it. Even in Dark Souls, you have fast travel, right? So it'll be kind of weird for them not to implement it in this game at this point. Another cool thing that we see is some fighting on horseback, some combat while riding the horse. So in the trailer, you ride on your horse up to, like, it looks like two big ogres pulling a carriage, right? But your character is able to swing his sword while he's on horseback and basically slash this other opponent on a horse, you know, and that's some interesting stuff right there. Some interesting gameplay mechanics right there. I believe I heard that won't be available in PvP, like such as co-op, possibly player versus player. I could see that being the case, but hey, I mean, it sounds pretty cool for single player regardless, and it looks like it does a lot of damage too. But you know how they do it on Dark Souls, you know, in these Dark Souls like games. You know, the enemies be having huge amounts of HP, just ridiculous. It's just silly how much HP these guys have. Some of the crazy enemy designs, man. You know, and that's just classic Dark Souls, right? That's classic From Software. They have some interesting enemies. I fully expect, just like in any other Souls game, some enemies will be really strong, some enemies will be really weak, some enemies will be a joke, like these enemies that are in jars. Like they look weak, they look like you could take them within a few hits, but who knows, they might be really strong. But this other enemy with all these arms, wow, he looks really menacing. He looks really menacing. He looks like he has some really creepy movement patterns. Wow, so this some of these enemies, some really interesting enemy designs already. But what's even more interesting are the boss designs, right? So you can see what looks like several bosses in this trailer. I hope they didn't reveal, I know they didn't reveal all, but I hope they didn't reveal most of the bosses. You know, this is a pretty huge selection of bosses. And I highly expect, since this is an open world game, that they might have special events where they add new bosses or something. It could be like a World of Warcraft where you get with your friends and they have these events where you can wait in one area, and then there'll be a boss that shows up. You and your friends can all go up and fight the boss all together with some other people, and then once the boss is defeated, if the boss is defeated, then everybody gets some loot, essentially. So here I make a huge mistake here. I got way too close to the dragon, and he actually swiped. It's not bad when he uses poison, but when he swipes to hit you, it does a ton of damage. But these boss designs are really cool though. Like this guy with his sword, he swings this sword at you, really long, exaggerated reach, what you'd expect from a FromSoft boss. Cool design. Some of the bosses are going to be really difficult. They might have like a mean like boss. I don't even know if it's a mean, because they don't make means out of them. It's just a boss that's really, really freaking easy. Look at that bat roll right there. And they do this on every game, so I'm already expecting some bosses to be jokes, some bosses that are going to be really difficult that you probably want to use the co-op feature for, right? So hopefully that will be a case where you can actually implement something like that. And as you can see, there's also going to be magic. So this magic spell right here that I'm seeing, it really does look like great magic weapon. Not great magic weapon, but like soul greatsword, soul sword, or soul greatsword, right? So in Dark Souls 2, they had soul greatsword. They had soul sword, where you just create basically a blue laser sword, like a blue lightsaber, and you just attack with it. It was a bit underwhelming. The soul greatsword was unfortunately unviable for PvP because it's just so predictable. But these are some pretty cool looking spells, and hopefully it does a lot of damage in single player. Like, those spells are still good in single player regardless. This other magic spell, this is the one that looks more like great soul greatsword, right? And actually, if you see the full animation, go back and look at the trailer, the character actually jumps in the air and then does like a jumping attack with this. So I was like, wow, I don't think it was powerful. I just get owned here. So this was a struggle starting off with this playthrough. But it looks like it'll be an attack that will be able to, where you can get in quick and you can quickly stun, let's say, lightly armored enemies that are more likely to stun. So it'll probably be really good against those guys. And the last one I wanted to show you is this just like this laser beam of dark magic. So I'm hoping that they won't have the same traditional elements that they usually have, which is lightning and fire and dark. That they don't just stop there. Maybe they add another element, or they switch up the elements, you know, because, well, we've seen that formula before, and it's going to feel too much like Dark Souls if they use the same elements. Like, hopefully they use more. Hopefully they use more than just regular magic, dark magic, and fire magic. There's also miracles as well, light magic, if you want to say, but hopefully they just mix it up with the magic. Some of the magic spells and animations look very similar to what you would see in Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and 3. So it looks like we've seen a lot of these type of animations before. I'm just hoping that they kind of mix it up and the spells aren't as limited in the original Dark Souls series as they are now. Like as they will be. Hopefully they won't be in Elden Ring as they are in the Dark Souls series. Finally got that out. That's what I'm really hoping. Hopefully these magic spells are actually PvP viable, and we get to, and that these are actually, that you can actually use this in an actual one-on-one match. I'm not talking about with gank squad. You can always use magic in gank squads. It's easy, but I wanted so that you can actually maybe time it better, and you're able to actually use it. Maybe if you like in Dark Souls 1, you'd have to equip each spell. Hopefully maybe you can equip spells and it increases the frame that it takes for casting the magic. It really needed, that was really the big problem, is spells take way too long to cast in the original Dark Souls series. And of course, I've already spoke about co-op. I'm glad that this is in there, right? I'm glad this isn't just a single player game like Sekiro was. I'm glad that they added the multiplayer element. This is going to be awesome to run around with friends and being able to, even if it's in limited areas, being able to do dungeons with your friends. And hopefully the summoning process is a lot simpler than doing the summon sign in the original Dark Souls series. While it was unique, I don't mind them setting up lobbies where you can just summon people and then you can just go out and play the game normally, right? None of that extra stuff. But one thing that they did take from Sekiro was the stealth. So apparently it looks like you can sneak up, you can actually crouch walk and sneak up on enemies. I didn't see a backstab animation. I may be wrong. I didn't see a backstab animation, but you can sneak up on enemies, and it seems pretty effective, as you would expect. Take them by surprise, hit them for lots of damage, and essentially that really works really effectively. From what I saw in the trailer, it looked pretty effective. Take them by surprise, and you can take on multiple enemies. Speaking of multiple enemies, look at this horde, this picture of this horde that the character just jumps into. He just hops into in the trailer. Incredible. Yeah, so if you're really under level and you try to take on too many enemies at once, I can just see you getting just ganked, just swamped. You try to do it all at once. So essentially you got to be more careful. You got to think more strategically, and you got to make sure that you're well prepared for taking on the challenges, the enemies that you plan on taking out. Well, one of the last things I want to talk about is the critical attacks. Look at this, man. So essentially all it is like an animation attack where like a boss will grab you and you can't really do anything. You just have to let the attack commence through, and that's usually because you get grabbed or something. So that's what this looks like. Good. We'll see how much damage it does, but it looks like just standard cookie cutter stuff. I mean, it's pretty much in all FromSoft games in some form or in one form or another. In all the Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, I believe Demon Souls had these animated critical attacks. I'm not sure of it. No, King Alak, the last boss did. He had a grab move. Definitely. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in terms of the trailer. That's pretty much it for this episode as well. But lastly, I wanted to put up a reminder of the release date. You know, that golden moment at the end of the trailer. It was really sweet, man. That was a sweet part of the trailer, man. Really. You know, seeing the release date, seeing that it's releasing early next year in January. End of the month of next year, we get to play Elden Ring. And I'm going to be playing it on my channel. So, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hit the like button and comment, you know, just to give me some support, right? This has been InsidiousPurple, and I am out. We'll do the next video, and we'll talk about a different topic in terms of Elden Ring. See you guys next time.